Welcome back to the channel. Day 11 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. I managed to hit 5 films today, which was great. Uh, Even though I had to watch the Astros yesterday pull out a ninth inning, 2-out ninth inning comeback. What a game. What a game. I know it's not a baseball channel, but that was just a fantastic game and a great win for the Astros. Um, so let's talk about movies now. Day of the Beast, 1995, a Spanish film directed by Alex de la Iglesia. I've got this on Blu-ray. Severin put it out, and I was just too lazy to get the Blu-ray out. But I've seen it multiple times. It's a really interesting and fun take on the Antichrist, what I call the Antichrist subgenre of horror films. The story revolves around a priest who has decided that he has figured out the day of when the Antichrist is going to come, and the only way to stop it is if he commits all these horrible sins and tries to gain access to Satan. Strange, convoluted kind of story, but what's interesting about it, it's done very light, almost lightheartedly in a dark comedic kind of way. I really liked the interplay between the death metal dude that he hooks up with, and I also like the paranormal TV anchor that they get involved with. They become like this little team that tries to figure out. We know he's coming. Antichrist is coming, but where, and how can we stop it? It's really good stuff, and I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen it three or four times now, and each time I've enjoyed the hell out of it. But also each time the ending is kind of a confusing to me, and it hasn't gotten any more. I haven't gotten any more clarity with each watch. Each time I'm just as confused as the first time I watched it. So, if anybody has seen this and can give me some feedback on the ending, it's specifically it's like, so is the Antichrist dead or is he not dead? It, I mean, it's it's just not clear to me. I mean, it's also not. There's a lot of things that are strange about that ending, but it didn't diminish my uh, love of the film. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I definitely recommend that Severin Blu-ray if you don't have it. Next up is a classic film, which I don't have. Criterion put it out, and that's The Brood, 1979, with the famous, legendary, fantastic actor Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed plays a psychiatrist who is treating this woman, and she's going through intensive therapy. She's being maintained at this psych facility. She's kept away from her husband and her daughter. Bottom line is she has anger issues, and when her anger manifests itself, it manifests itself in these uh, strange-looking, aging kids. They're like little kids that look like they're 80 years old. Really fantastic stuff from David Cronenberg. Standard body horror, psychological horror film, and probably I think one of his best films. It's excellent. I give it a 9 out of 10. I definitely need to pick up the Criterion Blu-ray at some point. In fact, I think there's a flash sale going on right now with Criterion. All right, and then next up was kind of the slog movie of the day, Daughter of Dr. Jekyll, 1957. I'm kind of on a Dr. Jekyll kick in this October horror challenge. This is stars John Agar and Gloria Talbot, and she is a unbeknownst to her, she is the daughter of Dr. Jekyll. And once she finds out that she's the daughter, she starts kind of manifesting strange, things going on with her. She's not necessarily split personality, just just strange stuff. It's a real pot boiler. It's a quick watch. It's only 70 minutes, which is probably why I was able to get to the 5 film mark today. But man, not even John Agar and the 70-minute runtime could save this one. This was a real. This felt like a 3-hour movie. It was just a torture to get through. I have to give it a 4 out of 10. Dull as dishwater. Edgar Ulmer directed it. And he just has. I don't know if it's the script or what, but he has no flair. Um, I mean, man. What's funny, I mean, and I say that, I guess I'm being harsh because he did direct The Black Cat, which is a fantastic movie, but is it a fantastic movie because of Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff? Or is it a fantastic movie because of his direction? I'm going to tell you, I think it's Bela and Boris. And he did do The Man from Planet X, which I like, but that's kind of a slog too, honestly. He did The Amazing Transparent Man, so he's done some stuff that's in the genre that I like. But god damn, this was rough. This was rough to sit through. Definitely, definitely would pass on that one if given the opportunity to revisit it. I would pass. All right, next up is a 2019 film called 1BR, and I've had this on my watch list for a while. It's directed by David Marmor, and that's his only directorial credit. It's about a girl that's a young girl that's kind of getting into her first apartment, and she achieves that, but that the community of this apartment building becomes very strange, and it quickly disintegrates into she is captured, you know, and detained in this room, and they're basically trying to indoctrinate her into their community. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. Nicole Bloom stars in it, and I thought she did a good job. She's maybe a little stiff, but I thought it was a good film overall. The ending was kind of predictable, but I don't think that deterred me from liking it. It's not a movie that I would go back to. I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's a good one-time watch. But once you've seen it, particularly with regard to the ending, and you know what's going to happen, I don't think it holds. I don't think the overall story and acting in this is enough to like pull you back into a second viewing. That's 1BR 2019. And then finally, I watched a film called A Chinese Ghost Story from 1987, and this was actually filmed in China, I believe. Tony Chinsu Si Tung directed it, and let's see, he obviously he's done a bunch of martial arts. He did Duel of the Death. He's got a lot of credits. He's got not a lot of horror credits, but this is a ghost story about it's about a tax collector that in his quest to tax these collect tax on these little shops and things within these little communities, he runs into this girl that he falls in love with. And the question now is she real, or is she an apparition? Is she a ghost? It is a wild ride. There's moments in this that's just batshit crazy. There's a lot of martial arts in this. Um, there's a lot of what I would call Evil Dead tropes. The film to me is kind of a homage, not a ripoff. I mean, but it definitely has Evil Dead vibes, big time. Maybe it was inspired by that, the success of the Evil Dead movies. I don't know, but it's its own movie. I'm not saying it's a ripoff of Evil Dead, but it definitely feels like Evil Dead. There's a scene, climactic scene where they're fighting this evil woman that I think she's the one that's got possession of this girl that he likes, and she's got this huge tongue that just flares out and like can grab you with this tongue, and it becomes crazy, just batshit crazy. I really liked it. It was a good movie. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. I give it a 7 out of 10. And that is it, guys. That is it for day 11. Appreciate you watching.